Hello, Jonas Rex here, the 1912 Titanic Swim Team, and we're bringing you this Froslass stall deck, aka Budew stall. The whole idea behind this deck is that we're using Budew to make sure our opponents can't play items, and we're going to stall them out. We're going to put a bunch of damage counters everywhere with this Froslass, and then we're going to go ahead and use the Munkidori to move these damage counters around. We have a one of Mimikyu in here that's definitely cuttable because it gets the damage counters on itself from the Froslass. So if I have 3 Froslass in here, it doesn't really last that long. So it walling out your opponent doesn't really seem as worth it in the long run, but there are definitely situations where it can come up, so we play the 1. If you need to get more damage counters out there and your opponent's not playing the stage 1 basics blah 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 without ability, so the Froslass can't hit it, you're going to use the Uxie to put 2 damage counters on everything. And again, you can start to get these damage counters that build up on Munkidori. Use Adrenaline Brain and start putting 3 damage counters everywhere. I use the Accompanying Flute to make sure that I can try and bench lock my opponent, force more Pokemon that they don't really want to bench against me onto the bench. We have the Buddy-Buddy Poffin to start searching out everything. Counter Catcher, because they're really easy to take KOs on us, so the Counter Catcher is going to be live very often. We have Earthen Vessel to make sure that we can get not only our psychic energy, but we can also get our dark energies for the Munkidori. Lost Vacuum, in case we need to remove any tools, is always really useful. Playing Precious Trolley, because getting set up really early against our opponent is more important than anything, because we want to be able to put all of the damage counters on their little basics, their little Budews, and their little Charmanders that are like 60, 70 HP, right? We want to be able to make sure we can take those guys out. So having the Precious Trolley and 4 Ultra Balls just means we have even more consistency to get there. Not playing any Nest Balls, don't feel as though it's necessary. Arven can go ahead and go get us Precious Trolley. Arven can also go ahead and get us TM Evolution if we have the turn to go ahead and do that, or TM Devolution, so we can go ahead and evolve any of our opponent's Pokemon that we need to get big KOs on in the late game. We have Boss's Orders right there next to that, so we can boss things around, probably get things stuck in active, playing our usual stall strategy. We have Iono, so we can disrupt our opponent. Irida, because Irida can also get us our Froslass as well as the item. That can also get us our Precious Trolley. That can get us our Buddy-Buddy Poffin, Accompanying Flute, Earthen Vessel, blah, 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 whatever you may need. The rescue board just serves as a really good pivot because everything in here has 1 or free retreat. So being able to pivot off the rescue board is awesome when we're playing the 4 dark energy and 4 psychic energy. Without further ado, let's go ahead and get into it. All right, so our opponent's going to open up the Manaphy, go straight in from the Manaphy into the Buddy-Buddy Poffin. After they go get the Buddy-Buddy Poffin, we'll see that we're up against Charizard. How is this deck going to work out for us? Well, they're going to get the Budew and the Pidgey down. They're going to go Trekking Shoes. Trekking Shoes is going to ditch the Briar. They're not going to need that in this matchup, hopefully for them. And that's going to pass turn to us. Now, we have the Buddy-Buddy Poffin, so first thing we got to go do is double check that we have all of our Froslass, all of our Munkidoris, we got our Precious Trolley, everything we need to get cooking. So we're going to get the Budew, and we're going to get a Snorunt. After we get our Budew and our Snorunt down, we just got to set ourselves up to get the Budew into the active so we can really just slow our opponent down. We're going to set up the Snorunt and the Uxie so that we can start ping damage everywhere. Really, we go ahead and get the Earthen Vessel. We get the Froslass for the next turn. We use Earthen Vessel to go ahead and get rid of the Counter Catcher that we're probably not going to need, because if we can keep our opponent from getting into Charizard, we're probably going to be ahead for the whole game. So we're going to go ahead and detach, bring up the Budew, attack with the Budew, and next turn it is on. So now that they can't play any items from their hand, they're going to go ahead and go into a barrel, get down the Radiant Charizard, which is a bad idea because the Radiant Charizard also has an ability, meaning he's going to get pinged by all of our Froslass pings. Goes to the Arven, gets the TM Evo and the item, but they cannot use the item, so they end up passing turn. Probably didn't have an energy, so couldn't go into TM Evo. We go ahead and decide that we're going to get rid of both of the Ultra Balls here because we just need 1 more Froslass. We're going to go ahead and attach the Froslass, attach the energy to our Munkidori, and we're going to go ahead and attack. Just kidding, we're going to go into the Iono, filling up our hand again, looking at the Flute. We want to bench lock them. Nothing we can put here, though. Then we decide to go with the Budew, just attacking for that extra damage. And now here's where the pings start to come in. We're going to hit our own boy with the ping once and twice. And then that means next turn he's going to have 40 damage because this is going to happen in between both turns. And when he has that 40 damage on him, we're going to put 30 of it back onto our opponent's stuff. Meaning we can just start taking big KOs on this Manaphy here. We can start moving things over to the Charizard, the Pidgey, the Babarrel's taking a build up there, that Radzard, we can just wait the time there. But over time, this is really going to be tough for our opponent, especially if they can't deal with our Budew. Now, the Budew's in the active. Do I want to put pings on the Manaphy right now so they can move things up? Quick thought. they're going to move it up anyway because at the end of this turn, this Manaphy is going to die. So it's really not up to us at this point. We go ahead and go and get into the Irida, get into the Froslass, and we're going to go grab the other Buddy-Buddy Poffin just so we have discard fodder for the Earthen Vessel because we don't need any more Buddy-Buddy Poffins. We're going to go ahead and get one of each energy so we can attach one to the other Munkidori. And this is going to help us completely heal off this Munkidori because he has 10 more damage and this guy doesn't have any damage. He just showed up to the party. We're going to go ahead and take the damage onto the Bibarel. We're going to attack here. This is going to KO the Manaphy, keeping them locked from being able to use any items. So they can't rare candy Pidgey, rare candy Zard us right now. And they're going to give us the Bibarel. I'm assuming they don't have another energy to go ahead and put on to that Charmander to attack the Budew that is keeping them locked out of the game right now. Opponent drops the Budew, goes into Arven. Gonna get again, gonna get a tool and an item. Can't use the item. Wonder what tool we're gonna get here. So he gets the rare candy. I assume his hand is probably really stacked at 7 cards deep, just been drawing every turn. And this is going to take the KO on the Bibarel. It's going to put that Radiant Charizard is getting into range of being KO'd by the Munkidoris that I have cooking over here on the bench. We have the TM Evo that could come up later if for whatever reason they get into the Charizard, but we're going to go ahead and just start taking that out of the picture now. If I put all this damage on that, that means next turn we KO it. If he goes into the Charmeleon, which is 90 HP, we KO it anyway, or I boss it up and KO it with the Budew, so now he's item locked and he lost his attacker that he was trying to build up. He has no energy on the board and he concedes. All right, game 2, we get to show off what happens when we go first. We're up against the Squawkabilly in the opener. We're going to go ahead and look through, make sure we have all of our stuff, our Precious Trolley, our Snorunts, our Frostlasses, blah, 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 blah. We're going to go and use the Buddy-Buddy Poffin. We're going to go ahead and get the Budew. Budew is going to also be accompanied by another Snorunt because we don't really need the Uxie in this build, but then we decide instead of doing that, we don't want to put too many damage counters on our Munkidoris because then they tend to be in danger of dying and we need them. So what I'm going to do here is just attach the Uxie. We're going to pass turn to our opponent because we can attack. They're going to draw. Look at what we have set up and concede. All right, so that was a very easy win for this deck. Let's go ahead and see what we can do in game 3. All right, game 3 looks like we're opening up against United Wings. United Wings is going to get to go first. Our deck thrives going second because we get to go ahead and use the Budew stun before they get to use a supporter. And any items that they use, they probably didn't use a ton of. He can't even use his attack to draw a card here, so we're going to go ahead and pass over to us after the Pokestop. Just kidding, they're going to go into the Ultra Ball, and Ultra Ball is going to go get them. After discarding the Super Rod and the Earthen Vessel, it's going to get them the Murkrow. The Murkrow has the United Wings attack. More United Wings stuff in the discard pile, more damage they're going to do. So this is going to be interesting because it is another single prize matchup, but we open the Precious Trolley, so it's going to go ahead and get us our Munkidori, our Snorunt, and the Uxie. We just flood the bench there. We also have the Earthen Vessel, so we can get rid of one of our accompanying flutes, get us 1 energy of each color depending on what we're going to be wanting to do here, attach the Psychic energy to the Snorunt to get it out of the active, get the Budew up into the active. We're going to put both of their Flamigos onto the bench so that way they cannot get into the discard pile and do any damage to us. Irida is going to go ahead and get us one of the Frostlasses, another accompanying fruit because we realize it's a really good idea. Say screw it, put the Carbink on the bench as well. Anything that's going to keep them from getting more, anything that's going to provide us with more targets. Nothing else we can do here. We're just going to go ahead and lock them out of items and hope that they can't play the game. All right, on their draw, they get Ditto. Ditto has an ability, which is fantastic for us because we have 2 Froslass in hand right now. We can get the 3rd Froslass off of this Irida. So by the time that they deal with this Budew, maybe we have another Munkidori down and we're saving the previous Munkidori from dying because we are going to be cannibalizing him heavily with all of our Froslass pings that are going to be going around. They're not able to do a ton because they can't use items, so we go ahead and go Froslass. Irida gets us another Froslass. Irida also goes ahead and grabs us an Earthen Vessel so we can make sure that we can have energy to put onto our Uxie as well as our Munkidori. We discard one of our Dark Energy, grabbing a Dark and a Psychic back. Go ahead and attach the Dark Energy to the Munkidori. Attack, and now watch the pings. 1, 2, and 3. It's going to be real dangerous for our opponent here. We got KO's lined up on the Ditto, KO lined up on the Flamigos. That's 3 of our prizes right there, and that could put us in a really early lead. And unless they do something about this Budew, okay, they boss it. We do have an energy in hand though, and everything does have 1 retreat cost, so that can help us. They did try and trap us, but we don't play anything with heavy retreat, so it's really hard to trap us as long as we have access to at least 1 energy. But we also have access to the rescue board via Arven, so let's see if Past Me actually thought about that at all. All right, here we go. Nope, didn't think about that at all. We go ahead and attach, bring the Budew back up, Adrenabrain, go ahead and start picking off the things that don't have the ability. Probably now realizing I could have gotten the rescue board. grabbing the rescue board, and we're gonna go ahead and get the Earthen Vessel as well, just so we can have more energies. We have only 2 energies left, but we do want to make sure that the Uxie attack is live, because that could be the difference between taking big KOs on single prize Pokemon or us missing them entirely. So we are getting rid of the Ditto. That is our first prize. Grabbing the boss's orders. We still are leaving the Rowlet in the active because it's not doing anything to us. Here he's emoting at us. I'm going to emote back because I'm a good sport, and he's sticking this out. He's playing the game out. He didn't just give up and quit when he seen it was a frustrating deck to play against. His play here, though, he's going to retreat the Rowlet, which is fine, bringing up the Murkrow, and with a single United Wings attack, he's able to deal with our Budew. So that puts us in a position where we just have to promote the Uxie, and when we promote the Uxie, we can start taking huge KOs here, because that means we can take KOs on the Flamigos. And then we're also going to do KOs right here on the Rowlet and the Murkrow with just a single energy attachment. So we get this Munkidori down. Go ahead and Froslass. We have to decide what we're going to save here, and we're not going to be able to do the Uxie attack because we want to make sure that our Munkidori actually lives, but that doesn't mean that we can't take KOs, because we can move 30 plus 30. That's 60 damage around. We're going to go ahead and start moving damage to the Rowlet before we boss up the Carbink, because if he is able to evolve the Rowlet, then that Rowlet can attack with the United Wings attack, and we're not trying to give up any more KOs right now. Our boss's orders is usually not to attack things in the active, but rather to trap them, so I feel like this was a pretty good trap we set here. If he wants to attach an energy to the Carbink to move it, he can go ahead and do that. If he wants to go ahead and attach an energy to the thing on the bench, that just buys us another turn of pinging damage counters around. So he'd have to have a switch here. All right, so he goes into the trekking shoes, go ahead and discards a Murkrow, gets another Murkrow. Goes with the Brilliant Blender. That has to be a really good addition to the United Wings deck, because you're able to just put 5 United Wings Pokemon straight into the discard. So a single prize Pokemon's going to be hitting pretty heavy. He gets the Wattrel down, which I got to imagine is pretty good, although I've never played the United Wings deck. Goes ahead and goes Superior Energy Retrieval, grabbing himself 4 energies back into his hand. Does have the switch that he needed, gets the Dark Tricks up, attaches to the Dark Tricks, and is gonna do in our Uxie pretty bad. So Uxie's dead, but we didn't attach there. I'm gonna go ahead and give him a thumbs up, because, you know, he's playing, bro. He's cooking. And here we are doing damage to ourselves here, not any damage to the opponent, because he doesn't have anything with an ability in play. But what we can do is be a butthole and go get another Budew. So we go ahead and do that, and then we decide we're gonna go ahead and rescue board ourselves out of there. We're gonna attach these damage counters to the active, KO that. We're going to attach damage counters to the Wattrel, KO that. We're going to attack for 10 after Ionoing, setting him down to 4. Our 1 is a boss's order, so that's got to feel really good. All right, he's living on a dream here, because next turn we are 1 Munkidori damage move away from taking the game. He can't use any items, and he lost all those energies that he just grabbed. So attaches 1. Explorer's Guidance, discards a bunch of things that look really useful like Super Rods, but he also can't use them. Attacks us for 10, and that's going to be the game, sir. Freezing Shroud is probably going to KO one of our Munkidoris. That's fine. He did his job. In this single prize matchup, he wasn't supposed to last this long anyway. And here's what we're going to do. We're going to go ahead and just take the 10 damage off the Budew, so Budew can get the W for us with that itchy pollen attack for 10 damage. And this is what the deck does. The deck spreads damage. The deck is annoying. You definitely have to play like you're a stall deck, but you're really trying to take KOs on everything. I'm not out here setting up big 6 prize 1-turn KOs. Other people might be. But until next time, let me know what you think. Jonas Rex, out.